Hello, thanks for joining me today for this tarot card reading. It is my first in what I'm hoping to be a series. True crime tarot card reading. True crime has been it's been a passion of mine for a while, for years actually. I didn't realize I had a name until like a couple years ago. I just thought I liked mystery stuff. It's kind of sad to say that out loud now. But anyway, remember, we thank the spirits for, joining us today. We asked them to help us with this read. Just like I, welcome you, and I thank you for joining me today. So, who do we start with? We're going to start with my favorite case. It's the D.B. Cooper case, or the Dan Cooper case, as D.B. was the mistranslation, I guess. Whatever, it was a mix-up. But D.B. sounds so much cooler than Dan. But yeah, it's my favorite case. If you're not super familiar with it, I definitely encourage you to look that up. But to give you a rundown, Dan Cooper is just the fake name this guy gave when he hijacked the Northwest Orient Airlines flight number 305. And what he did is that he told them he had a bomb and that he wanted $200,000 in exchange for the passengers, which that happened in Seattle. The plane landed. I think he got refueled. And the passengers, he kept the crew, but the passengers were allowed to leave. He got his money and 4 parachutes, which I think they were rigged, but putting that aside, they took off again, and he ended up jumping out the back of the plane, taking off his clip-on tie and jumping, and was never seen or heard from ever again, so we think. So we're going to ask the spirits for any info about that. The first question, I think, would be amazing to know would be, what's the personality traits of D.B. Cooper, or Dan Cooper? Now that we have our energy all focused in on him. Sometimes I refer to him as Cool Guy Cooper because of the sketch of him in the sunglasses. And mind you, no one got hurt. That's why I'm kind of giggly. All right. We're good and shuffled, and let's get started. We're going to do a 3-card spread because I've got quite a few questions, and that's the fastest way to get through them. All right, spirits, who are we looking for? The Queen of Pentacles? The King of Pentacles? Ooh, 2 Pentacles. So lots of coin. And the 5 of Pentacles. So we have lots of coin here, which makes me think maybe this person is financially motivated. Maybe they're letting me know on a motivation for the, for the hijacking. That's the word I was looking for. But the Queen of Pentacles upright is talking about practicality, creature comforts, and financial security. So I don't know. It would seem like if this is arranged in the past, present, and future, or even like maybe a trait read, which that's what I was going for. Seems like this person is very practical. And in that practicality, he still finds, it talks about creature comforts. So it talks about like financially, it seems like he's comfortable. And he likes being comfortable. So let's move on to the King of Pentacles, which is reversed. It's talking about greed, indulgence, and sensuality. Well, I'm not really feeling the sensuality, but definitely the greed and indulgence. That could be an obvious motivator. He wants a lot of money. He wants it right now. And even though the cards are suggesting that he is not in any or at the very least in the past position, I don't know. I don't feel like he had any financial issues, but we do have the next card, which does look interesting. The 5 of Pentacles. Let's read that before. Yeah, it says need, poverty, and insecurity. So maybe, yeah, maybe he was someone um, who was just in need of fast funds, possibly to fund this creature comforts. You know, this oh, how do you say? What was it? The practicality creature comforts. But this is just funny because this card is talking about financial security, and then the last card is talking about poverty. So I just wonder if like maybe he came from a fairly rich like background. Like maybe he grew up with a lot of money, and with the King of Pentacles, it fueled that greedy part of his personality. You know, like this is what I grew up in. This is clearly what I deserve. And then how he actually ended up probably in this mess was the Five of Pentacles, where it's talking about poverty. You know, maybe he got, you know, maybe his family lost money, or he got cut out of a will, or he just got cut off in general. But yeah, definitely someone who grew up with money and at one point didn't have any. So this is a good, I think it's good personality pull as well as a motivation pull, but I might keep those aside. I would like to ask the spirits about motivation, even though I feel like we got a pretty straightforward answer there. Let's see if the spirits have anything else to say. Spirits, why did Dan Cooper or DB Cooper hijack the plane? Oh, that's the Wish card, but it's reversed. And we have the Two of Pentacles. So again, we have coin. And then we have a King of Cups. Okay. So the Nine of Cups, like I said, that is the Wish card, but this card is reversed. So it is the lack of inner joy, smugness, and dissatisfaction. Okay, so again, being unhappy with the current situation, which I think was the poverty that was implied in the Five of Pentacles. So the spirits say he wasn't happy. And I do think it has something to do with like the creature comforts. Like he wasn't able to live the way he wanted to live because of the Five of Pentacles. So he was very unhappy. So we move on to the Two of Pentacles, which is reversed. And I know it's usually about balancing. It says loss of balance, disorganized and overwhelmed. Okay, so perhaps he was overwhelmed financially. Again, we're talking about coin. And it says loss of balance. Now, is that like a bank balance, or is that just an overall like financial or life balance that would cause him to lose a lot of money? Not sure, but let's continue on with the King of Cups, who is right side up. It says compassion, control, and balance. So funny enough, we have balance again. So we talk about imbalance in the Ascension card, and then we have balance in the King of Cups. So it seems like this imbalance he was looking to correct with the King of Cups. Well, with the heist, really. And so I think the King of Cups is sort of what he was hoping to accomplish. He might have done that, but he finally wanted to balance out, you know, fix this financial issue that he was having. Also talks about control as well. Probably, I honestly don't think it has anything to do with that, or even the compassion. Well, the compassion a little bit. I mean, he didn't hurt anyone. Nobody, you know, it was fairly, I'm not going to say it was harmless, but it's tame compared to the hundreds of other true crime stuff that has gone on. The FBI is not even looking for him anymore. Like, they're just like, whatever, statute of limitations. Because again, he didn't hurt anyone. So let's ask another question since we have the spirit's attention. Was D.B. Cooper acting alone? Did he have a partner in crime? Was this somebody else's idea and he just kind of took it and ran with it? Or was there someone waiting for him on the ground when he jumped? Okay, spirits, what would you like to say? We have the 2 of rods, the 4 of rods. Ooh, we have the Tower, who is reversed. Let's check out these rods first. Sorry, I'm looking through my guide. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so the 2 of rods, which is upright, says planning, making decisions, and leaving home. Oh, so plan. Okay, obviously the whole hijacking was planned, because I don't think someone just like wakes up one morning and they're just like, I'm gonna hijack that particular plane. I'm gonna ask for this amount of money. You know, like I'm sure there was a lot of planning involved, and that's what this card is saying. Like he's been planning it probably for a while before he did it. Then we move on to the 4 of rods. Sorry. Well, wands and rods are the same thing. Also upright, it says community, home, and celebration. Now, community does imply more than one. It does talk about home, and it's funny because the 2 of wands also spoke of home, didn't it? Yeah, it says leaving home, making decisions, leaving home. I think they might be implying that he planned this with a family member or someone like really, really close to home. Like maybe a lover or, again, like a family member, someone really, really close. So according to the spirits, D.B. Cooper was not working alone. Or at the very least, he was making plans with somebody. And then we have the Tower, which is interesting. What number is the Tower? Tower is 16, I believe. Or 14, depending on... Oh, here we go. So the Tower is reversed. It says disaster avoided. Delayed disaster and fear of suffering. So, you avoided disaster. Which disaster in his case would have been, somebody getting hurt or him getting caught, probably more likely. So I think whoever this is saying, like, they got away with it. Like, yeah, they was planning. I was planning with this person, and we got away with it. Man, that is good. Or at the very least, when it talks about disaster delayed, like, so far, they're getting away with it. So, if that's the case, I would assume that D.B. Cooper survived the landing if he got away with it. Okay, so what, spirits, can you tell us the future of this mystery? Will it ever be solved? Ooh. Will new evidence come up? Has it been solved? There's been a lot of speculation about who could have done this. All right. We have, the Page of Cups, who is reversed. The Chariot, also reversed. Ooh, got more pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. All right, so let's check out this Page of Cups, who is reversed. Okay. It says emotional immaturity, insecurity, and disappointment. Oh, insecurity and disappointment. Maybe it could be in the past position, like the past disappointment of not being able to solve the case, at least on the FBI's part. I personally kind of tickled that it's never been solved. But we're not talking about me. As much as I love this case, and I could probably talk about it forever. Okay, so we have the Chariot, who's reversed. It says lack of control, lack of direction and aggression. Lack of direction, I think, is the big one. So we have disappointment and lack of direction. Definitely FBI vibes, where they've lost all new evidence. Like they have nothing to go on anymore. Like they've exhausted every resource they had. That's one of the reasons why they closed the case. They're just like, it's old, it's past its statute of limitations, and there's nothing going on. So there's no direction. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Is reversed, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. It says fleeting success, lack of stability, lack of resources. There we go. It even says fleeting success, which implies that at one point they were like getting clues and they felt like they were going somewhere. And again, the disappointment settled in with the Page of Cups. And they completely, like, no direction with the Chariot. And now this one is saying, like, lack of resources. I think the spirits are telling us that this will never be solved. Never, ever. Which I am okay with. Like I said, it's my favorite unsolved mystery. And a part of unsolved mysteries, why they're so interesting, is because they're unsolved. Like... There's a lot of questions, a lot of speculations, a lot of fun in it. So I'm going to do one more pull for my other deck. It's the What's the Tea deck. See if the spirits have anything interesting to say. Maybe about the partner of D.B. Cooper who helped him, as they suggested that he did not work alone. Okay, so what's the tea? Forcer. Forces things on you, forces their way in, uses force to get what they... Okay, well, yeah, I guess saying you have a bomb would be a forceful way to get what you want. We have the inside scoop, a closer look, nosy, up in your business. I am very nosy. And we have ignoring. Oh, the ignoring one is the odd man out, I think. Well, unless it's the FBI ignoring. But yeah, definitely, like, when it's talking about, like, forcing their way in, using force to get what they want, that's definitely the hijacking. We have inside scoop. It says a closer look, nosy, up in your business. Definitely, people were trying to. They were trying to get a closer look. They were trying to get all up in that business. They were trying to solve it, couldn't do it, and now it's ignoring. Basically, it's being left alone. Thank you, spirits, for giving us that little bit of information. I feel like I learned a little bit. I hope you did too. And thank you for joining me. Remember, we thank the spirits for helping us out as well. And I hope you guys have a great day.